gonna adjust my camera since there's nobody in the chat room yet. Hopefully soon somebody will show up. Excuse me. Okay, while I'm waiting, I'm gonna get my coffee, which is in the back of my truck. Okay. All right. So far so bad. So far nobody is here. Okay. Wow. Usually somebody right away, a couple people join, but so far no one is here. Wow, interesting. Okay, somebody's here. Okay, cool. One person. Well, whoever that is, Josephine. Hi, Josephine. Good to see you in here. I guess we'll wait another minute for. Oh, Andrei. Hi, Andrei. How are you? I hope you're doing good. Hope your business is doing well. Well, few people are here now, so I guess we could start. 5 people. Good enough for me, you know. My live streams are tiny usually, so 5 people in the room, good enough. And Red is in here. Well, hi Red. Thanks for joining. And what I wanted to... Oh, Andrea, you're in New Mexico now. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess you're still doing your long haul from time to time. That's right. You haven't 100% switched to your business, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Andrei, everybody, by the way, is a truck driver. His content is in Russian, but if you like to see anything truck related, check out his channel, Andrei Bauer. So anyway, I just wanted to talk with you all, hi Crackshot, about the end. Is it near? Of course, as we all know, if you're a Christian, Jesus said 2,000 years ago that the end is near. And, but I think now it's nearer than ever, for sure. There is a Russian channel, Russian-speaking channel, that I watch from time to time. That channel is all about prophecies and lots, I believe in prophecies. I know prophecies can be, real prophecies are real. And I just don't believe all of them, because I also know that people just like to get attention sometimes. I don't know what other reason they would make false prophecies. I think just the attention. Ike, hi Ike, thanks for joining. And however, nevertheless, lots of prophecies that are out there are real, and some of them, again, I don't know what to believe. It's hard to believe. There's just so much information that lots of prophecies are pointing that there would be a nuclear war in 2024. And we are at the end of 2003 already, 23. So if that was to be true, then we are only a year away from nuclear war. In my opinion, I personally do believe that nuclear war will happen. I don't think it's going to be total annihilation of the earth, because there has to be on this earth still kingdom of Antichrist. And if everything would be annihilated, like you would see, some of you probably have seen movie Greenland. It's an older movie, a few years old, but I also highly recommend watching that movie. In that movie, I'll just say one thing, what happened after an asteroid hits the Earth. And you could think easily, you can imagine that it would be something like that after all-out nuclear war. So yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, check out the movie. It's really good. But I personally don't believe it's going to be like that. The whole entire world totally burned down to ashes with almost no survivors. I don't think it will happen. They try to they always try to reduce the population. Uh, anything from pandemics to wars to some natural disasters that they create, because they have technologies now that they create everything from hurricanes, from some crazy hurricanes to earthquakes. I like an earthquake in Turkey. I personally believe it was man-made earthquake, and this is just my opinion, but it could be true. Erdogan, the head of Turkey, he's in NATO, yet he still deals here and there with Putin. So he's like on both sides of the fence. And in my opinion, powers that be obviously don't like that. So they created that crazy earthquake. Same thing with, I'm pretty sure, an accident in Japan on Fukushima. Pretty sure that was also man-made. Um, the list goes on and on. The tsunami in Indonesia, I heard that Indonesia didn't want to let the United States put bases there. So as soon as tsunami hit them, the bases were given green light. Whether it's true or not, it's like 9/11. Some people believe it was inside job, some don't. If you ask me, I think it wasn't 100% inside job. It was good reason to start the war in Middle East. Again, all these events are debatable. What's not debatable is that the fact that we are nearing the end every day. And in my opinion, what's going on right now in Ukraine, it's crazy. It's been going on for a year and a half now, and there are so far no signs of stopping. And I am like 99% certain that nuclear world war will come out from that war. Who's gonna bomb who first, I don't know. But once again, I remind you all who watches now, who might be watching later, rewatching, check out Azov Manna prophecy. American pastor Philip Barnett prophesied back in 2009 what will happen in Ukraine. And his prophecy is coming true with one exception so far. So far there was no nuclear bombs dropped. So if that prophecy is true, and in my opinion it's a real one, check out Azov, A-Z-O-V, Manna, M-E-N-A. When I hear that prophecy, I rewatched it on YouTube a number of times, probably 3 or 4 times. I reread it. I have a text at home translated to Russian. That prophecy just makes what's left of my hair stand up, on my head. So, and I think if nuclear weapons will get used in Ukraine, in that conflict, it will spill over to Europe and most likely United States. And Because as United States being biggest supporter and supplier of weapons, I'm sure we would probably get hit over here. And basically, in my opinion, nuclear war will happen if you just look from like an outsider. Oh, what's going on in the world? It looks like it will happen. Yeah, it probably will happen. But also, if you look at it from another perspective, they do try to reduce population. They want to get down to golden billion. To do that, they'll need to wipe out 7 billion people, which, that would probably wipe out most of Africa, in my opinion, good portion of South American countries. They'll have to wipe out more than half of population of United States and Europe. Okay, Ike says there is big sign in the heaven this month. I'm not sure, Ike, what exactly you're talking about. If you don't mind, let us know what do you mean, because I'm not aware of any signs this month in the heaven. Doesn't mean there isn't any. So if you don't mind, please let us know right here in the comments so we can all read. Okay, the United Nations Peace Treaty this month. 2 New York and 7 years new agreement. Oh, I see. Peace treaty. Yeah, because they say when they say, the Bible speaks of it, when they say peace, that's when the end will strike. So yeah, that's a big sign right there. And then Revelation 12. I'll have to look, and I can actually look at Revelation 12 right now. Give me 1 second. Okay, I've got my Bible here. Let me see. Revelation 12. Okay, my Bible is in Russian. I just want to know what's going on in the book of Revelation 12. Okay. Yeah, it talks about various things, including Archangel Michael throws dragon on earth. Yeah, there's many different interpretations. Ike says lots of videos on YouTube about it. I have to look it up. Thanks, Ike, for sharing. But anyway, back to the story. In my opinion, there is too many people on earth right now to control easily. They do want to control everybody with a chip, so it'll be easier for them to control. But how do you chip 8 billion people? Especially like in the United States, there is lots of people who are against it, and there is lots of citizens that are armed, and then they know it, they're aware of it. Okay, Ike says Steve Fletcher is a good one, or Out of the Watch. Okay, thanks, Ike. I want to remember Out of the Watch. So I'm gonna check that out. And how? It's nearly impossible to control these people. So they will try to get rid of these people through everything. Through the wars, through the natural disaster. Look at the fire situation. Fire situation is, obviously few people die in these fires, which is not significant for them. But what's significant is lots of those fires are destroying crops, and all the wheat that is not coming out of Ukraine to feed. Supposedly it's supposed to feed lots of African countries, but mostly it goes over to Western Europe. But regardless, there's a lot of grain that is not coming out of Ukraine or coming out very slowly, and so on and so forth. Freedom Inc., how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining in. I haven't talked to you in a while. I'm going to give you a phone call later on. Yeah, check out Freedom Inc., good YouTube channel. If you want to hear straight opinion about anything what's going on, check out Freedom Inc. No BS on that channel, straightforward. So anyway, so through all these things, famine that is man-made, look at what's going on in the stores and here in the United States, grocery stores. The prices, seems like they climb every few days. There is new price. Andre says every day is a survival. Yeah, I agree, Andre. Every single day is survival. Paying your bills on time or fighting on the battlefield. Yeah. I'll tell you one example. I dropped my load in Pennsylvania on Wednesday morning. I finally got another load, and it's a joke of a load. Very short load, just 500 miles. On Friday afternoon. It only takes me to get there less than a full day of driving from here to North Carolina. It's like 480 miles. And so that means I cannot drop that load until Monday morning, right? I dropped my first load on Wednesday, so entire day of Wednesday I could have been reloaded. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 5 full days. 5 full days. And the load I have right now in the bed of my truck is a joke of a load, $1,500. Yeah, for the mile it's not bad, it's like $3 a mile. But since I'm gonna make that $1,500, and this is gross, this is not into my pocket, that means $1,500 I'm gonna make in 5 days. Of course, this is actually the first time that happened to me like this bad. I waited before for a load for a day sometimes, or 2. But now I'm gonna make, tomorrow I'll start driving and, to deliver for Monday morning. But to make $1,500 gross, on average I get 40% of my gross. So $1,500, half is $750, minus another $150. So I make $600 in 5 days. That's like $115 a day. It's just horrible. How can you live on this? I'm not saying all the time is like this. This is the first time. Nevertheless, it's this bad. It's getting worse. Let's see what some of you are saying here. Crack Shot says one of my customers got carjacked at a grocery store. What a surprise. They broke his leg. Wow. And stole his truck. That's insane. Wow. I'm telling you, crime's on the rise. Just the other day, I live now, as many of you know, in Vancouver, Washington, which is right across the river from Portland. And just a few days ago, my wife was telling me she was driving home, and there was just some police cars flying probably about 100 miles an hour on the street where the speed limit is 35. Obviously, they were in a rush to get to some crime scene. Well, what turned out to be, and this was just last week, there was some man who killed another person in Kelso, Washington. Kelso is like 30-40 miles north of Vancouver on I-5. And he was running away from the crime scene. He ended up, coming to Vancouver. I don't know exactly when high-speed chase began, but it has begun at some point. and he took Paden Parkway exit, and nearby there's a Costco. There was some people coming out of Costco. He ended up hitting three cars, and I believe he died in that accident. But anyway, it's just crazy world. Vancouver is typically a peaceful place. Kelso, there is some drug problems, but still, for most part, it's peaceful. You don't hear these kind of things, but that kind of stuff just happens more and more everywhere. So it sucks that it's happening, like Craig Shot 322 says, but um, it is what it is, and it's not getting better. Okay, the official Week channel says, "What country do you live in?" Just asking. Okay, I'm here. I don't know where you are at, Week channel. I'm in the United States. I live in state of Washington. My channel says Oregon Preparedness because I've lived in Oregon for 27 years. But just 2 years ago, I moved across the river. It's essentially the same area. Portland and Vancouver is pretty much the same city, but that's where I'm at. And I'm a truck driver, so I'm actually all over the place. I'm everywhere. But my home, my family is in Vancouver, Washington. All right. Ike says here, sirens going on, or in my city. Yeah, an accident. Oh yeah, an accident's not good. All right, Georgia, 12B Georgia says hi. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining. Very good to see you. Thanks for always for your support. Freedom Inc. says we are see the worst crimes happen daily by the worst criminals, and act as if people are wrong for running for them. Yeah, crimes on the rise. As I said, it's just gonna get worse on all levels. Starting with thugs on the street and ending with politicians way above, way up there. Ike says, I've been to Victoria, BC. Yeah, I've been to Victoria, BC also. It's, in my opinion, over exaggerated. I actually, when I was in Victoria, this is years ago, but I happened to be on a weekend where they had Pride weekend or Pride month or whatever, but there was um, big gay community doing march in Victoria, BC when I was there. I don't know, a lot of people I heard before I went to Victoria says, oh, Victoria is so beautiful, all gorgeous. It's okay, lots of flowers, clean. At least when I was there, this is years ago too. But honestly, I do like Vancouver Island. It's huge. It's like 500 kilometers long. But I can't say that, oh, Victoria, BC is amazing. To me, it's not. Maybe there's, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Everybody's different. All right, let's see. Okay, Freedom In, thanks for joining. You gotta run. That's fine. Be safe out there. Yeah, I'll give you a buzz for sure. Let me close my door because it looks like it's starting to rain. Okay. Yeah, Ike says Pride Week and is abomination. Yeah, I agree. I'd expensive to live there. Yeah, I'm sure it's expensive. The whole Northwest is expensive. Pacific Northwest, um, northwest of Canada, Vancouver, BC, very expensive. And in fact, Vancouver, BC is more expensive than Portland or Seattle. So, yeah, Portland is, when you think about it, the entire West Coast is very expensive. From California to Seattle. But everything has gotten way out of hand, and the prices went up tremendously since pandemic. Various reasons. One of them, in my opinion, Ike says lots of people are moving to Alberta. Maybe they do. Yeah. Let's see. 12B Georgia says You spit on a sidewalk here, cops will write you a ticket. Wow. They make money for the system. Wow, that's insane. Well, in Portland, you can just pee on a sidewalk and no one's gonna say anything these days. They have cleaned up downtown Portland, fortunately, compared to what it was a couple of years ago, but still, it's still not what it used to be. It's not what it used to be. Oh, you live in Alberta, I see. Okay, well, you know what's going on there then, like, if you live in Alberta. And so, anyway, yeah, Alberta, yeah, you have really beautiful mountains over there. I've never been to Canada except for, in Vancouver, BC, on Vancouver Island, and also on the east side across Niagara Falls, just a little bit, drive into Canada and back. Nothing major, so I can't really speak from experience. I don't really know anything about Canada, just what I hear in YouTube videos and see and hear in YouTube videos. So anyway, yeah, I like, for example, Pacific Northwest. It's beautiful. The nature is like, it's hard to find something prettier. But there's one but. It's very expensive. Prices of the houses, I was talking about it just a minute ago. Prices of the houses went up a lot, and here is why. And it may not be the only reason, but it's probably one of the reasons. When they Ike says that one of the cheapest place to live. Maybe so. That's why everybody runs into Alberta to get real estate before it gets too expensive. So when pandemic took place, they shut down everything, as you know. I mean, most of companies were shut down for months, maybe even a year. And as most of you know, if any of you try to buy a new car, for the past couple of years, I think it's getting better now. For the past couple of years, it was very difficult to buy a new car because of the chip shortage. So they say they couldn't produce enough cars. Yet demand for the new cars still was there, the usual demand, but accumulated in a couple of years because people couldn't get what they wanted. It became high demand. Just recently, I delivered a load of pre-cut lumber for some custom home to Colorado from Oregon. Guess how long the people who's going to build the house told this to me? How long the owners of that new house that is going to get built, how long they were waiting for their lumber? 2 years. Because everything is so backed up. All the orders are backed up. So, unfortunately, that's how it is with everything. This is why housing are so expensive, because there was always, people buying, selling, moving a little bit from here to there. But there was always new houses being built, and everything was, had its flow. We had big hiccup in 2008 during that recession, but nothing like COVID. That one really put a big dent into economy and into your ability to buy anything. Cars are in high demand. They were, at least. I remember 2 years ago, just out of curiosity, I went to Toyota dealer. I was one time doing nothing. I had some time to kill, and I like cars. I love to look at cars and talk about them, all of the above. Watch car channels. So I went to, there was nearby Toyota dealer, so I thought, okay, I'll go look at some new Toyotas. And I happened to talk to a salesman. He told me 2 years ago, not sure if it changed now, but 2 years ago, there was 6 months wait to get new Toyota Sienna, the minivan. Chip shortage or whatever shortage, 6 months wait. This is not some kind of special exotic car that they only make 1,000 of them a year. This is just mass-produced car. And back then, even now, you drive by new car dealers, often their lots are only half full. It is getting better, at least in Portland. I've noticed in certain places, in some Midwestern states, it's a better situation. Dealers' lots seem to be fuller than back home. But in my opinion, it's still, if you want to go to a dealer and try to get what you want, chances are you're not gonna be able to get what you want right off the bat, just right away. Okay, I want that Dodge truck and that color with such equipment. No, no such thing. You either have to wait, put order in and wait for it to be built, which will take probably 3 to 4 months if it's a domestic car. If it's a foreign car, it might take 6 to 8 months, up to a year even. And I know that for a fact because just recently, my brother, uh, leased, one of the European brands, and he lucked out that he found somewhere in the transit was car that he wanted with equipment and color he wanted. But he was about to put an order for one, and they told him he might have to wait up to a year. This is just a couple of months ago. So I know the demand on cars is still there. We all know the housing demand and the prices. It's like back 2 3 years ago, um, in like South Carolina, in Spartanburg area, housing was very affordable. Lots of people, ex-Soviets, people like me, immigrants that came here 30 years ago, give or take. Lots of them went from Portland, from Vancouver. They moved to South Carolina because you could buy a nice house for 2 to 50. Those prices are gone. I think they themselves raised the prices because now you're lucky to find one for 300,000. Most of them are 350, even 400, if it's a new house. Of course, in Portland, tack on that another couple 100,000. For a typical house, you're gonna spend now $600,000 in Portland or more. So it's even worse. But yeah, back 3 years ago, you could buy a really nice house in South Carolina for not very much money. And those days are over. To be honest, I don't even know where in the United States you could buy an affordable house anymore. I think, in my opinion, Missouri might be one of those states. Of course, probably I imagine states like maybe Mississippi or Louisiana may be cheaper, but for me that would not work out because number one, I like to be where Russian community is for a number of reasons. I do go to American church at the moment, but still I like when the fact that there is a Russian church or 2 or 3 nearby, because I go for some holidays to a Russian church. I like if there is big Russian community, there is Russian food stores, which is what I like. I buy food there that I've been eating all my life. So for me, can't live without it, but I kind of need the Russian community for me personally. And I am not aware of any big Russian communities in the southern states, like Mississippi, Alabama, or Arkansas, or one of those. So for me, I wouldn't want to move there. Plus, I hate heat. I don't like the heat. Portland weather is nice. This summer has been dry. There was no rain for like over 2 months, but still the temperature was high 80s, low 90s. That's not bad. I can live with that. And so if winter time comes and it's not going to be too terribly cold, usually in the 30s or 40s, occasionally freezes. So I like Pacific Northwest, even though it's expensive. Plus, all my family is there, so for me it works. Everybody is different, of course. Sometimes there was a bunch of families together moving to South Carolina or Missouri, um, but none of my family wants to move anywhere. Me neither. So I'm just gonna stay at Pacific Northwest at least for now. Let me see what else you're saying here. Um, okay. Oh, Shando, hi. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Uh, yeah, Ike says they doubled the price. Housing prices doubled in Canada. I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. Correct Shot says the COOF and lockdowns are coming back. Yeah, I heard lockdowns are coming back, which means it's gonna screw up the economy once again, maybe even worse than it was before. Some businesses barely survived. Who knows if they will this time? All depends too on what kind of lockdowns, how long they're gonna last. Andre Bauer says you can buy a new car, no problem, but there is a catch. You're gonna have $100,000. Yeah, Andre, I know. That's another thing I forgot to say. Some new cars were available, but with a nice premium over MSRP. Some of them were charging five, 10,000 over MSRP. I've seen there is a Ford dealer in Beaverton, Oregon, which is Beaverton is adjacent to Portland. And at the time, I had a Ford car, and I took it in to check. I had a problem with it, so I took it to a dealer to check what's going on. While I was waiting, I looked through the lot just for fun, look at MSRPs. All of their cars, doesn't matter what car, whether it's something desirable or not, all of their cars, new cars, had $6,500 premium over MSRP. Now, some special cars like Ford Bronco, the new one, not the Bronco Sport, the real Bronco. It's a great off-roader. Not my cup of tea, but people like it. They were charging $20,000 over sticker, and people were paying for it. So yeah, Andre, yeah, I know you gotta have a lot of money these days to buy a new car because it's first you gotta find that car and then you're gonna pay for it through your nose. Okay, OB2 says, can you wave, please? Yeah, sure, I'll wave. Hi, OB2, good to see you. And Ike says, yes, car prices have gone up, and like Honda Civic 24,000. Yeah, some Civics go for a lot more than that. I'd say average Civic goes for about 30. And if you get some special editions like Civic Type R, MSRP on that is, I think, around low 40,000, 45,000, 44,000. But dealers were marking them up $15,000-$20,000 also. So it's insane. Okay, that is basic access. That's basically basic brand crazy. Yeah, for basic brands, it just doesn't matter, basic brand or not. You want even prices of used cars went up tremendously. Access even financing. Yeah, speaking of financing, look at the interest rate on the housing. It's besides prices being insane. Look at the price of financing. 7%. That's insane. When it's been for years, 3%. Back before 2008 crash, you could get an ARM loan and start with 0% and it would go up to a few points in a few years and stay there. That was affordable. Not anymore. Yeah, Ike says you pay more than your car is worth. Yeah, that's the case, but That's why people hang on to their cars now longer, because it's impossible to afford. Watchman says people will be fighting over land like cats and dogs. Yeah, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will fighting like cats and dogs over everything. Pretty sure. And the land will vomit them out. Yeah. It's not getting better, that's for sure. We are change MD. Let's not comply to this lockdown. Remember, we cannot comply our way out of tyranny. Yeah, I heard that Texas, state of Texas, is already saying that anything COVID related is going to be against the law. Like, for example, if anyone forces a mask on you, if anyone give you a hard time, about your employment if you are not, poked, it's against the law. So that's cool. Hopefully other states will follow the too. Diane Basinger says St. Charles, Missouri is still expensive. Well, if you live there, then you would know. Alabama around Huntsville is pricey as well. So I guess I was wrong. I was assuming southern states would be cheaper, but I guess not. If you like your area, stay. Yeah, I mean my area. The only thing I don't like about my area where I'm at is the fact that it's expensive. My rent, I'm renting not such a big house, 1,800 square feet, and it's $2,300 a month. I know there's worse, but still $2,300 is a hefty amount for me for the amount of money I'm making lately. It's a lot of money. So I don't like that about my area. Of course, Democrats sometimes make some crazy rules. Don't like that either. But to me, when it comes to Democrats and the Republicans, yes, of course they differ. But as one of my older bosses put, he says it's right wing or left wing, it's the same bird. So yeah, some of them go one way too much and others to another, but still at the end of the day, they're all puppets, in my opinion. Rob TC says hi from Florida. Hi Rob, good to see you here. SK Aussie, hi my friend Sharif, and my good friend from Australia. Hi Oleg, 6 a.m. here. Wow, you already wake up, you're already awake. Shortages of everything in Australia. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I think there's shortages of everything pretty much everywhere. Nothing functions like it did, and I doubt it will again, sadly. As we come closer to the end times, things will just get worse. It's biblical, so it's bound to happen, whether we like it or not. The economy has been destroyed. Petrol and diesel, again, very expensive. Fuel, $2 a liter or more. $2 a liter. Wow, that equals to roughly $8 a gallon. That's insane. I mean, right now in Portland area, Vancouver, it's $5 plus for a gallon of gas. And in Australia, is basically $2 a liter. That's $8 a gallon. That's insane. I'm sure California has seen those prices, or Hawaii, but that's only California. Rest of state, diesel, hovers around, I'd say $4.50 to $5, $4.50 to $5.50, give or take, depending where you are at, depending on the state. And in my opinion, diesel should be cheaper than that, because diesel, it's a byproduct of gas. It's not a, they first make good gas, good quality gas, and then from what's left they make heating oil and diesel. Yet it's so expensive. Why is it expensive? Because they can, because we need diesel. All these trucks are running on diesel. So, and what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing, but they're just taking advantage of the situation. That's all it is. All right, the watchman mentioned Jeremiah 51:62. So anyone who has Bible, check out Jeremiah. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Watchman. Everybody wants huge profits and do nothing for it. Yeah, it is what it is, and it's more obvious than ever right now. Um, Andre Bauer says nobody's fighting over land in Wyoming. Yeah, could not agree with you more, Andre. Well, Wyoming, I love driving through Wyoming with few buts. It has to be summer. It has to be not windy because sometimes winds over there are crazy. You feel like you get blown away with your truck. So yeah, if it's a summertime, no wind or crazy rainstorm, Wyoming, I love driving through Wyoming on I-80. It's beautiful. But yeah, the winters are hard. This is one of the harshest places to live. Almost always windy, summer or winter, blizzards, crazy cold, you name it. Yeah, Wyoming, if you want cheap land, you probably can find land for pretty much free in Wyoming, I'm pretty sure. But so far, I don't want to go there, personally. Uh, the Watchman says Jeremiah 51:63 says that it explains that scroll was thrown into the bottom of the Euphrates River and Babylon. Yeah, a lot of people think Babylon is United States. It's probably true. I guess time will tell. Jason Derbyshire says, I'll donate if you throw your phone. Um, if you throw your phone out the window. What do you mean? I don't know. Why would I throw my phone out the window? I need my phone. I need my phone for my work. I need my phone for everything. Anyway, Diane Basinger says, a small town in South are cheapest. Yeah, I agree. But you pay more for food, utilities, commuting to work is expensive and time consuming. Yeah, so probably at the end it may not be very different. Yeah, Wyoming, like Andre Bauer says, no one's fighting for land in Wyoming. Uh, I'm sure it's super affordable, but again, I don't want to live there personally. Okay. And Diane says, amen to all we are experiencing being biblical. Yeah. Euphrates River dried up and now America is falling. Yeah, unfortunately, it's true, Watchman. United States is falling. However, I'll say this, in my opinion. I hear what's going on in Europe and other countries. I'm sure you do too. And still, at the moment at least, we are far better off being here in this country than in probably most of the countries in this world. Watchman says, Oleg, he's probably right about throwing the phone out the window. I want to, but I need to do some final warnings. Yeah, well, phone, you just can't really survive without phone. My job, I have to have phone for my job. Most work these days require you to have a phone to use various apps, unless you're just doing framing a house or doing landscaping or something like that, then you don't need a phone. And even then, you still need a phone to you know stay in touch with all the contacts with people who call. Yeah, phone is definitely part of our life for sure. As much as I hate it sometimes, you really need it. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wind down the stream. So yeah, to recap, in my opinion, we are nearing the end times. That's one. Number two, nuclear war, in my opinion, will happen. Number three, I don't think it's going to be total annihilation. It's going to be sort of on a limited exchange basis, in my opinion. If any of you rewatch this stream, let me know in the comments what you think about it. And for now, thanks everybody for joining in, for watching. I'll see you next time. I'll see you in the next upload and next live stream. Thanks for your support. God bless.